Easy, he asked them. Then how was it the Europeans and Americans were now taking it seriously? He says that before coming in contact with his movement, they had no interest in going to the church or finding out about God, but now they are mad after God. Why? Why have they become so? Because they have taken to the process. The process is important. Bhakti is not theoretical, it is practical. Yato bhaktirat kokshaji. If you want to take to the bhakti process, it is not speculation. You must actually engage yourself in the process. He says that the process was not just one, but 9. And of these, Shravana was especially important. Simply hear, and that hearing process is also made very easy. This chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, you chant and hear. Anywhere you can do it. You sit down in your home, or in your office, in your factory, underneath a tree, or anywhere. You can chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And you can hear. This process will make you advanced in everything. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given his benediction. Iha haite sarva siddhi hoibe tomara. Simply, by this chanting and hearing on Hare Krishna mantra, all perfection you will get. It is very easy. There is no difference between Krishna name and the Krishna person, because Krishna is absolute. Advaya Tattva, Advaya Jnana. So he has descended in this age, Kali Yuge Namarupe Krishna Avatara. Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi 1722. This Nama, Hare Krishna, is the sound incarnation of Krishna. Don't think it is ordinary sound, Hare Krishna. Therefore, Narottama Das Thakur has sung Golokera Premadana Harinama Sankirtana Ratina Janmilo Kene Tai. This sound vibration is transcendental sound. It is coming from Goloka Vrindavana. It is not this mundane sound. I make a stop here. So it is said here that we know that Krishna consciousness is to educate the people how to become advanced in devotional service. Because they have people outside, they have no idea what is a devotional service they are serving, but they have no aim of this process. And then it was said that the people from the street with whom Srila Prabhupada was working, they also, or Americans, they also had no idea of this, what this movement means, and they have no interest, and they didn't go to church, especially the young people, because they were wasting their time doing different things that had nothing to do with being religious and pure. And now it was said that they are mad after God. So maybe I may no comment, but only Srila Prabhupada, I think so, with Mahamantra can make the people being mad of God. And then it is asked here why it so happened. And bhakti is not theoretical, it was said, because bhakti is devotional service. Loving devotional service can be theoretical. So if many people in the street, if I may say one word, they say, oh, I love God, I love Jesus. What? Who is Jesus? Why you love him? What are you doing for him? How you can please him? I love him. I'm reading Bible, okay, it's something. But not much they say, because that is not practical. Not some educated Christians, certainly they're doing it practical, but the idea is different. The idea is different, the aim is different, the process is different, and what Srila Prabhupada has brought to us, that we can't live without devotional service, especially the people in the temple. That means we are mad. And certainly 9 processes they are, but Srila Prabhupada noted, he stressed Shravanam from all these 9 processes, because Shravanam we can't stand but hear, because we are forced to hear. We have ears, they have holes, we have centers here, center here, we have our hemispheres, and we are forced to hear. That's why Shravanam is very effective. And then certainly Shravanam brings to the other process, the all 3, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, and Smaranam. That's the main 3 processes of this 9. So Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it is said, if you chant and hear, you hear how you are chanting, you hear the others chanting, and slowly it is somehow, it's coming into our consciousness. And also it is said here that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by chanting Mahamantra we can get to the perfection. And really the processes of chanting and taking prasadam and dancing and singing, they are really simple. And because they are simple, they are practical, and they look very nice, attractive for the people. And the Harinam is welcome everywhere where Radha Yatra, all these processes are welcomed by the people, because they are also so already tired of all these vulgar and not religious, not nice activities. And Krishna name and Krishna as a person, it is stated here that is the same, because Krishna is absolute. Yes, and everything in Krishna is absolute, and all his opulences is absolute, and all his activities are absolute, and his parents are also absolute. That's why Krishna and all his surroundings are absolute, and that's why there is no differences between Krishna and his name. And he came in Kali Yuga, he came to us in the form of Mahamantra, and that means, that's why it is personal, because name and Krishna's name and Mahamantra, they are not different. Yeah, so it can be said much, and sound vibration is certainly personal. Sound vibration is transcendental. It comes from Krishna, from Goloka Vrindavana, and that's why we are directly connected with Krishna when we are chanting with Goloka Vrindavana, when we are chanting Mahamantra. So the book is so wonderful, and we can speak much about this and read it. There's no end. And this tradition to read this book was established here in our temple by Guru Maharaja, because we were not reading it regularly. But yes, Guru Maharaj said it should be read, and since that, we are reading this Mahamantra. If he is here, if you are here, Guru Maharaj, or if you are not here, we are trying to read it and read it regularly. So now we are coming to Srimad Bhagavatam. Is it, you can hear me? Shall I speak louder? Is it okay? Okay. More distinct. More distinct. Okay. So Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 29 and text 55.
Just wrote the first 3 verses, because it didn't, all the 4 verses didn't fit last time.
Okay. First I should find it. These glasses. 29. 29:55. Okay. Yes.
Nee, das stimmt schon. 54 hatte ich, Sonntag war CC, Montag Vortrag und heute 55.
Yeah, 55, it's correct. I'm sorry, I can't see with these glasses, this text. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate, no, sorry. Naranam Namaskritya Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Sarasvatim Yasam Tato Jayamudhirayet. Before reciting the class in Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the means of contest, we bring our beating into Lord Narayana, the supermost human being, Naranarayana Rishi, and Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and the author Srila Vyasadeva. So firstly we're reading Sanskrit. I have not so much experience, that's why maybe it's not everything okay. Sattvam vichakshya mriga cheshtitam atmano tash. So we're reading, okay, first me then you, okay? Chitam niyacha hridikarnathunim cha chitem jahyanganashramam ashatamayuthagatam prinihiham sa sharanam virama kramenam satvam vichakshya mriga cheshchitam atmanantash chitam niyacha hridikarnathunim cha chitem jahyanganashramam ashatamayuthagatam prinihiham sa sharanam virama kramenam. Could you read, please?
Sattvam Yashake Yoga Chechitam Atmano Nitas Shitam Nichaya Yudim Karma Dunam Chachitite Yahana Agnana Shanam Asha'atam Yutagatam.
Sattvam vichakshya mriga cheshtitam atmanotash chitam niyacha hridikana dunim shashite jali anganashramam asatamayutagatam.
Prinihiham sharanam virama kramenam. What is it? What is it? Prinihiham sa sharanam virama kramena. It's not.
Oh, yeah,
it's not written.
That's not enough space to write all.
Ah, okay. Then not. Who else?
Sattvam vichakshya mriga cheshtitam atmanotas chitam niyacha hridikarnathunim chachite yahi anangashramam asatmatryutagatam.
Okay, Prinihiham sa sharanam virama kramena. Now we are reading wordly, word for word. Sa, that very person. Tvam, you. Vichakshya, considering. Mriga cheshchitam, the activities of the deer. Atmanaha, of the self. Antaha, within. Chitam, consciousness. Niyachha, fix. Hridi, in the heart. Karnathunim, Oral reception, cha, and chite, unto the consciousness, jahim, give up, angana ashramam, household life, asattama, most abominable, yudhagatham, full of stories of man and woman, prinihi, just accept, hamsa sharanam, the shelter of the liberated souls, virama, become detached, kramena, gradually. Translation made by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Sorry. In one of his songs, Srila Narottama, translation of the text. My dear king, just try to understand the allegorical position of the Diya. Be fully conscious of yourself and give up the pleasure of hearing about promotion to heavenly planets by fruitive activity. Give up household life, which is full of sex, as well as stories about such things, and take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead through the mercy of the liberated souls. In this way, please, give up your attraction for material existence. Purport also made by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada. In one of his songs, Srila Narottama Dasa Thakur writes, Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, Kevala Vishera Banda, Amrita Valiya Yeva Kaya, Nana Yoni Sada Pire, Kadariya Bhakshana Kare, Tara Janma Adha Pateyayam. Fruitive activities and mental speculation are simply cups of poison. Whoever drinks of them, thinking them to be nectar, must struggle very hard, life after life, in different types of bodies. Such a person eats all kinds of nonsense and becomes condemned by his activities of so-called sense enjoyment. People are generally enamored of the fruitive results of worldly activity and mental speculation. They generally desire to be promoted to heavenly planets, merge into the existence of Brahman, or keep themselves in the midst of family life, enchanted by the pleasures of the tongue and genitals. The great sage Narada clearly instructs King Barhishman not to remain his entire life in the Grihastha Ashrama. Being in the Grihastha Ashrama means being under the control of one's wife. One has to give up all this and put himself into the ashrama of the Paramahamsa, that is, put himself under the control of the spiritual master. The Paramahamsa ashrama is the ashrama of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, under whom the spiritual master has taken shelter. The symptoms of the bona fide spiritual master are stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 11.3.21. Tasmad gurum prapadyeta jignasu shreya utamam shabde parecha nishnatam pramanyopasham ashrayam. And a person who is seriously desirous of achieving real happiness must seek out a bona fide spiritual master and take shelter of him by initiation. The qualification of the spiritual master is that he must have realized the conclusion of the scriptures by deliberation and arguments, and thus be able to convince others of these conclusions. Such great personalities who have taken complete shelter of the Supreme Godhead, leaving aside all material considerations, are to be understood as bona fide spiritual masters. A Paramahamsa is one who has taken shelter of the Parabrahman, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If one takes shelter of the Paramahamsa spiritual master, gradually, through training and instruction, he will become detached from worldly life and ultimately return home, back to Godhead. The particular mention of Anganashramam Asatama Yudha Gatam is very interesting. The whole world is in the clutches of Maya, being controlled by women. Not only is one controlled by the woman who is one's wife, but one is also controlled by so many sex literatures. That is the cause of one's being entangled in the material world. One cannot give up this abominable association through one's own effort, but if one takes shelter of a bona fide spiritual master who is a Paramahamsa, he will gradually be elevated to the platform of spiritual life. The pleasing words of the Vedas that inspire one to elevate oneself to the heavenly planets or merge into the existence of the Supreme are for the less intelligent, who are described in Bhagavad Gita as Mayaya Partha Jnanaha, those whose knowledge is taken away by the illusory energy. Real knowledge means understanding the miserable condition of material world, material life. One should take shelter of a bona fide liberated soul, the spiritual master, and gradually elevate himself to the spiritual platform and thus become detached from the material world. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Hamsa Sharanam refers to the cottage in which saintly persons live. Generally, a saintly person lives in a remote place in the forest or in a humble cottage. However, we should note that the times have changed. It may be beneficial for a saintly person's own interest to go to the forest and live in a cottage. But if one becomes a preacher, especially in Western countries, he has to invite many classes of men who are accustomed to living in comfortable apartments. Therefore, in this age, a saintly person has to make proper arrangements to receive people and attract them to the message of Krishna consciousness. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, perhaps for the first time, introduced motor cars and palatial buildings for the residence of saintly persons just to attract the general public in big cities. The main fact is that one has to associate with a saintly person. In this age, people are not going to search out a saint in the forest, so the saints and sages have to come to the big cities to make arrangements to receive the people in general who are accustomed to the modern amenities of material life. Gradually, such person will learn that palatial buildings or comfortable apartments are not at all necessary. The real necessity is to become free from material bondage in whatever way possible. According to the orders of Srila Rupa Goswami, Anasaktasya Vishayan Yadharham Upayunjataha Nirbandha Krishna Sambhade Yuktam Vairagyam Uchyate. When one is not attached to anything, but at the same time accepts everything in relation to Krishna, one is rightly situated above possessiveness. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1-255. One should not be attached to material opulence, but material opulence may be accepted in the Krishna consciousness movement to facilitate the propagation of the movement. In other words, material opulence may be accepted as yukta vairagya, that is for renunciation. The text again. My dear king, just try to understand the allegorical position of the deer. Be fully conscious of yourself and give up the pleasure of hearing about promotion to heavenly planets by fruitive activity. Give up household life, which is full of sex, as well as stories about such things, and take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead through the mercy of the liberated souls. In this way, please give up your attraction for material existence. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnana Jana Shalakayam Chakshurum Militam Jnana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, Narada Muni, the eternal spiritual master, is speaking with the king Prachina Barhishat and instructing him of how to get rid of the clutches of material life, of the clutches of material engagement. And in this text, what also I find very interesting, he is talking with him. It is not somehow written here that he is instructing him. These are the talks, because he is speaking with a king. A king is an educated person, and as a king should have a high level. That's why talking with him is respectful from the side of Narada Muni. And he is telling him how to get rid of material entanglement and fruitive activities. And here, as the first text, we have the song of Srila Narottama Das Thakur, that the fruitive activities and all these mental speculations that are connected with fruitive activities, because material life is connected with fruitive activities. Material life is so Maya, that is the influence of material nature, and that is always speculation, that is always illusion, that is just like a hologram. So that means that material world is existent, but very temporary. And Maya influences us that way when we want to be in the illusion, when we want to forget Krishna. So we get this opportunity very easily, not to go deep in our illusion, not to go deep in our not respectful attitude to Krishna. So better to put us aside to this illusion, not to give us more opportunity to destroy ourselves, yes, to be, not to protect the holy name, not to protect Krishna. And the fruitive activity, the activities that are the motto of fruitive activities is ahamameti. That is mine. I work for myself, I work for my family, and that's why the more, because that is being in the guna of tamas or rajas, and especially most of the people are in the tamasic guna, they are tamasic. And tamas, it is very, how to say, passionate, and passion just like a fire. And fire will never say, oh, stop please, now I'm satiated, I don't want anything. The more fire is going active, the more we should give him more wood to make the fire more and more and more. That's why this material activity, this activity for me, I possess everything, is absolutely contradictory to the activities we're doing in Krishna services. Because our aim is to come to the possessiveness-less, to the ownless consciousness. Nothing belongs to us. Even to say nothing belongs to me somehow sounds a bit more selfish. Nothing belongs to us, because especially to the people in Krishna consciousness, to the devotees in Krishna consciousness. In the street, I very often say to the people, everything we have got just like a present. We didn't pay for it. For the air, for the water, for the fire, for the ether, for the earth. Yes, but if we get like a present a new Mercedes or Ferrari, a red Ferrari, yeah, so we take care of all these things very much. Yes, my car, my house, my family, my wife, very beautiful wife, more beautiful than my neighbor. Yes, but if we're thinking of that nothing belongs to us, we don't want to get rid of this. We are somehow attached, just like with the ropes of material nature, and even these material feelings of love, of friendship, of being involved in some relationships at my work, they are also are not aimed to give, but only to take. And our nature is to give, because Krishna is giving everything to us, and we are his parts and parcels. And the people understand it. They forget it certainly, but even one impulse to understand it is already maybe good. So Narottama Das Thakur writes about this to give the people the possibility to get rid of it. Because everything we're doing here, we're reading here, we're learning here, we're listening to the lectures, we're serving here, that is a possibility for us to get rid more and more, to get out of this material entanglement and to come to the devotional renouncement. And he writes that the people eat. Not only they are speaking nonsense, they are eating nonsense. They are wearing nonsense. They are coloring the hair. They are wearing short skirts, rocks, and all the nonce-full dresses. Yeah. Or absolutely almost without dresses, yes, to show their body, what is only meat, substance, just like the animals, yes, because the difference between us and animals, that is should be high level of the consciousness, because we have possibility to develop ourselves. And in his bhajans, Narottama Das Thakur very compassionate, because he is a very compassionate person. In his bhajans, with full compassion, it is not so don't do this, do. With compassion and intelligence, he explains how to get out of it. And if we are singing his bhajans, unfortunately we are not singing any bhajans here in the temple, very seldom. So the bhajans are teaching us, because bhajana means worship, and they're teaching us how we can worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the highest personality of Godhead, and be devoted to him. And Narada, Sri Narada Muni, he advises the king to give up these fruitive activities, and for him, he is speaking concretely with him also and with us too, to give up this grihastha ashrama, because he is under the influence of his wife, not to be under the influence of his wife, not to only want to lying on her lap, very cozy, and to be indulged in the sex activities, or to read about this, or be involved absolutely, also absolutely, in the material activities. We know that Krishna is absolute, but he is transcendentally absolute, and the materialists are absolutely indulged, engaged in the absolute material activity. So to get out only even the nose or the one of the hair out of it, it's already good. Yes. And he's speaking about Paramahamsas, to give up Grihastha ashram and to come to Paramahamsa ashram. I feel I only to speak about Paramahamsas for me, but I say only what is written here. Yes, Paramahamsa means, Param means the highest, and Swam, Parama, Hamsa means, Hamsa means the highest swarm, or the white goose, I have found it, yes, the highest swarm, the purest form of consciousness, of devotion. The Paramahamsas, they can see really the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because their consciousness, all their activities are so pure that they can't see anything else. Spiritual masters are our spiritual masters are Paramahamsas, and if we take the association with them, we are getting to know what it means to come back home, to come back to the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That means to come home, to surrender. When I was preparing this lecture, I couldn't do it yesterday. I was trying, but I did it only today, because I couldn't do it yesterday. I didn't find any words and any connections to the text. Today it was better. And then I was remembering this 1966 text in Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna says to Arjuna, abandon all the religions. And then I thought, wow, the people who have no idea what we are doing, they can think, wow, that is absolutely atheistical. Abandon all your religions. Yeah, how I can abandon my religions? How I can abandon these habits, usual habits, to go to the church, usual habits maybe to celebrate Easter. I don't want to offend, yes, but most of all, what I meet in the street, that is habits. Yes, so habitual, because most of them are not doing this even, yes, but the people who are doing this, that is also because of being afraid, oh, God will punish me. That is not the faith. That has nothing to do with a pure faith in God, with a pure wish to please Him. Then Paramahamsas give us the possibility to be near them, to listen to them, to see how they are going, how they are speaking, how they are eating, how they are preaching, and to learn it. First we come, as Guru Maharaj was speaking yesterday, to this sattvic level, seeing the sattvic level, more than sattvic level, but we can't see more than sattva maybe. That's why we see what we can see, and we see the example of how to be a Brahmana, because Paramahamsa is the highest level of being Brahmana, of developing the Brahmanical potential, spiritual potential of our intelligence that was destroyed in Kali Yuga. That's why we have Kali Yuga, because the Brahmanical potential is almost destroyed. So very important, sadhu sangha. Next thing we have here, it is depicted the symptoms or the qualities of Paramahamsa, of spiritual master, and I have also something from here, that is the 26 qualities of a devotee. I found it in our bibliothèque library. And I read these qualities because they include the 9 qualities being described in Bhagavad Gita in 1842 text. Kripalum, Akrita, Droha. So I read it to make. So Kripalu is merciful. Akrita Thora means humble. Satya Sara means truthful. Sama, truthful. A moment. Sama means equal to all. Nidosa means faultless. Vadanya means magnanimous, just like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mridu means mild and, Vadanya und Mridu means magnanimous. Mild and clean means Suchi. Sorry, I should see them here, the other. I don't read, then I read only translation. Yes, because without translation it makes no sense. Again, devotees are always merciful, humble, truthful, equal to all, faithless, magnanimous, mild and clean. They are without material possessions and they perform welfare work for everyone. They are peaceful, surrendered to Krishna and desireless. They are indifferent to material acquisitions and are fixed in devotional service. They completely control the 6 bad qualities: lust, anger, greed, and so forth. They eat only as much as required, and they are not inebriated. They are respectful, grave, compassionate, and without false prestige. They are friendly, poetic, expert, and silent. That is from Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya, Lila 22, from 78 to 80. So certainly to come to all these spiritual transcendental possessions is not so easy, but this is our aim, especially for the young people, to get to the Paramahamsa level, to Brahmana level first and then to Paramahamsa level, and use it in preaching. It is written here about the gurus that guru is our spiritual masters. They can show us the way out of this material awful existence. And even if we can remember the scriptures, so Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has a guru. Even Krishna has a guru, yes. Vidura has a guru. Narottama Das Thakur has a guru. Srila and Rupa, Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami, they also have gurus. Yudhishthira had gurus. Bhishma Dev has, so everybody, every of these great personalities, they have gurus, because, and certainly the Paramahamsas we can see on our altar, Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, because it's not possible to develop our qualities without being led by the Acharya, by the Paramahamsa, just like our spiritual masters and Srila Prabhupada, because they give us examples. Acharya means to be exemplary person for the others, because they have controlled their mind and they are liberated persons. And that's why they have possibility, they have this potential to lead us, to teach us, because they have come to the truth, they know it themselves. Certainly our gurus are also persons, they are also Jiva Tattva and Guru Tattva, but they have gone through so many austerities, through so many difficulties, and they were brought up by Srila Prabhupada. That's why they have these possibilities to lead us and use all this they have got from Srila Prabhupada in the devotional service. I wanted to say some words about false gurus as well too. It is written in Sri Upanishad about false gurus, because it is very important to know there are many false gurus who pretend to be the real guru, yes, but they want only to earn money. So they sell the mantras, they sell the holy names, and they sell themselves. And they are very dangerous, especially the Gyanis, who are speaking very sweet. This flowery language, they are really educated persons, but we should be on alert, on the guard, not to be catched by their flowery language. And it's real, because I have already had once the conversation. I was caught. It was so interesting. I was caught, I was gefangen, to listen to what this person was saying. He was saying many things, and then they tell me, okay, you know, I'm teaching Sanskrit, you like to learn Sanskrit, different things. And then he said one word, he couldn't control himself absolutely. One word not positive about Srila Prabhupada. It was, I don't remember now what, it was just an impulse. And then I was awakened, oh no, and I ran. I ran away from him. No, I was afraid. That's why I say it is possible. It is possible. People use our compassion in the street. They use us very often. We should be on the guard. So I finish here because I'd like Guru Maharaj to say something. I have something more, but so Paramahamsa, it is our example, and it's not only this, it looks beautiful. You know, these white swamps look so pure and so beautiful, yes. Maybe with a lotus in there, I don't know how to call this, yes. But Krishna's most important feature is beauty. I have read it, I accepted it so much, and it helps me to be inspired. So that's all I could say. I wanted to say something about the women, but it's already too much time. So thank you so much for tolerating me. Yes, these texts are so full of knowledge. So, and I am so empty of knowledge. That's why it is difficult to make it maybe very essential for me. I don't have any experience. Maybe it shouldn't be many words, it should be 2 or 3 words, but essential, from Chaitanya Charitamrita, from Srimad Bhagavatam. But I do what I can. If someone can say something more.
Can you read the verse again?
Yes.
Okay.
My dear king, just try to understand the allegorical position of the Diya. Be fully conscious of yourself and give up the pleasure of hearing about promotion to heavenly planets by fruitive activity. Give up household life, which is full of sex, as well as stories about such things, and take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead through the mercy of the liberated souls. In this way, please give up your attraction for material existence. The Dia was in two texts before. It was about the Dia, this allegorical. Two texts before, in previous two texts, it was speaking about the Dia. Just it was allegorical Dia, a metaphor Dia, who was enjoying his life with a beautiful Dia women. I don't know how to call them. Yes, that's why this is. This allegorical comparison, how to say it, yes, picture of the Dia. Yes. Someone, you are sleeping all. I know I should speak different way. I will try. Not maybe sweet, but just on the contrary, I will try. I don't have much experience. I see it. I understand. I'm critical to myself. I see. Experience. The text is so beautiful. It's difficult.
In der Erläuterung stand, dass der Mann im Gehasserleben unter dem Einfluss seiner Frau steht. Meistens ist es ja dem Mann selber gar nicht bewusst, selbst wenn er im Krishna-Bewusstsein ist. Und was passiert mit der Frau, wenn der Mann tatsächlich überhaupt kein Mühe mehr, kein bisschen mehr unter dem Einfluss der Frau steht und er wirklich nur noch versucht, das zu machen, was der Guru möchte? Was würde dann mit so einer Frau
It's not make it clear your question, what you want to ask.
Im Text steht, dass der Mann unter dem Einfluss seiner Frau steht. Was ist, wenn der Mann nicht, also sich aus diesem Einfluss einfach befreit, wenn er das realisiert und wirklich nur noch das
It is not possible in family life. Certainly, devotees' families, when devotees are living family life consciously, knowing that everything they give to in Yukta Vairagya, it was Yukta Vairagya here, I had no time to speak about this. So to use all the opulences in the service for God, in the service for Krishna, all the opulences. Yes, that means all the opulences. In family life, there are many opulences. Sex is also opulence, yes. Money is opulence. The children, so sweet children, just like small birds, yes. That is all enjoyment, yes. And the sex life without woman is not possible. Yeah, that's why by the sex, women can, conquer the man. That's why the men or women are cooking very nicely, you see, something like this. And they are conquered by this not right women influence, because the devotional service, the women using their women's transcendental energy to help the husband to go on to develop his to advance in devotional service.
Heute in unserer Bewegung für Krishna haben wir bestimmte Gesetze, gemäß Ortszeiten und Umständen. Wir leben nicht mehr in der vedischen Kultur vor tausenden von Jahren. Und so ist zum Beispiel heute das Gesetz, dass wenn jemand Sannyas nehmen will, dass es garantiert sein muss, dass seine Frau beschützt wird und dass sie erhalten wird. Es ist nicht mehr, dass einer aus dem Haus geht und alles vergisst. Wir leben nicht mehr in der Zeit. Früher war das war normalerweise das alles Großfamilien. Die Leute lebten in Großfamilien. Nicht nur Mann und Frau und Kinder und kleine Wohnungen in Köln. Sondern die lebten in großen Familien. Zum Beispiel, wenn eine Frau heiratete, dann ging sie normalerweise zur Familie des Ehemanns. Deshalb wird so viel Wert aufgelegt auf die vedischen Geschichten. dass sie gute Söhne haben. Die Söhne sind diejenigen, die sich dann später um die Familie weiterführen. Weil die Frau normalerweise dann aus dem Haus geht und geht zu der anderen Familie. Wir leben heute nicht mehr in solchen Umständen. Zum Beispiel auch als Frau in die westliche Welt kam. Weil Prabhupada keine klare Vorstellung gehabt, wie die jungen Leute leben wollten. Das waren seine wie angezogen worden von Srimad, junge Leute. Und die lebten besonders zu der Zeit, das war in Amerika kam, lebten die alle in diesem Konzept, dass sie frei sein wollten, keine Bindung und so. Und einfach das tun und lassen, was sie wollten. Und das Erste, was Prabhupada zum Beispiel auch sah, was er nicht gesehen hat von Familien, dass die Mädchen und Jungen zusammenleben, ohne verheiratet zu sein, und Freundinnen haben, Freunde haben und so weiter. Dieser Prabhupada schon am Anfang hat er gesagt, ja, ist okay, aber ihr müsst heiraten. Das ist schon Bedingungen, dass sie alle heiraten. Und nicht nur das, was Prabhupada dann auch erlebt und war zum Beispiel, dass das junge Mädchen auch im Tempel lebt. Und das ist in der indischen Kultur. In dem Pasch, wie sagt man das? Kloster sozusagen. Da lebten die zusammen. Aber Prabhupada sagt, dass die Frauen nicht beschützt waren. Das ist nicht, dass diese Mädchen, die hatten keinen Schutz, die waren einfach frei sozusagen ausgeliefert. Und deshalb hat Prabhupada dann auch sogar erlaubt, dass die Frauen, die jungen Mädchen auch im Tempel leben. Mit den Männern zusammen. Also nicht zusammen, sondern im gleichen Abschnitt. So, heute ist ein bisschen anders. Deshalb ist normalerweise so, dass wenn man geht als Sannyasi, dann muss das garantiert sein. Dann kann ich eine Familie verlassen. Hast du das verstanden?
Ja.
Was hast du vor?
Nichts vor.
Prabhupada wurde auch gefragt, dass er sagte, in einer Reportage, er sagte, Prabhupada, ich bin Mönch, wir wollen keine Familie. Und dann haben die dann herausgefunden, dass Prabhupada eine Familie hatte. Dann haben sie gefragt, ja, was sind ihre Frauen in der Familie jetzt? Und dann sagte Prabhupada, meine Frau kommt aus einer wohlhabenden Familie. Da gibt es keine Probleme.
Ja.
Und nicht nur das, Prabhupada hat auch sichergestellt, dass seine Frau gut erhalten war. Versorgt war. Da hat Prabhupada sogar ein Wort gemacht, ein Schüler von ihm, der hat sich dann auch um die Frau gekümmert. Beziehungsweise man gesehen hat, dass sie okay ist. Ich habe es mal erzählt. Und das war ein Schüler von Prabhupada. Der hat mich dann um diese Angelegenheit gekümmert, die ganze Verbindung mit Familie und so weiter. Und den habe ich mal gefragt, was in seiner Frau lebt. Die Frau Prabhupada. Und dann hat er dann gesagt, ja, die ist vor kurzem gestorben. Ich weiß nicht, wann das war, viele Jahre her. Okay, vor kurzem gestorben. Und das Letzte, was sie wollte, dass wir ihr Beats geben, Chanting, Japa Beats geben.
Noch eine Frage, vielen Dank für den Vortrag.
Für mich.
Du hast ja auch darüber gesprochen, dass alles ist eigentlich ein Geschenk von Krishna, also Erde, Wasser und so weiter. Wie kann man das besser verstehen und Dankbarkeit entwickeln?
I think we can only want to be thankful. It is not possible because we have got causeless mercy. It is also just paradoxal. Krishna is the cause of everything, but he gives causeless mercy. Yeah. That is causeless mercy. Because the highest personality of Godhead, so God is very compassionate, absolutely compassionate. Yes, because he has everything, and we are his parts and parcels. Whom else should he give this? Yes, but to pay back consciously, partly I think we can. We can be thankful. We can be thankful even to our parents. We can be thankful to our teachers at school, to some positive teachers or different teachers, to some persons who helped us, to the doctors, because they all also are parts and parcels of God. Yes, and certainly being concretely and concretely active in the devotional service in the temple, for example, or being the part of the Krishna's family. Yes, it is not possible to imagine what could we do without Srila Prabhupada and our spiritual masters. What I was before, it's better not to speak of. And that is our consciously, more and more. And what is difficult, when difficulties are coming, when pain is coming, when diseases are coming, then, oh, what for? I am serving you, so, yes, I am good person, I am serving you, I am trying to do everything, I give donations to you, or I am buying something to you, I'm trying to follow the instructions. Why? So we should know that everything is mercy. Sometimes.
Was war deine Frage?
Das Krishna gibt uns ja alles als Geschenk. Erde, Wasser, alles, was wir besitzen. Wie man dann das tiefer realisieren kann und Dankbarkeit entwickeln kann.
Because we don't have anything.
Also eine Frage von Fortune und Krishna ist, wenn das Herz gereinigt wird von mir, mit Menschen zu machen. Und dann hätte das alles für automatisch oder Demand, wie sagt man Demand?
Erwartet.
Und fordert.
Erfordert.
Das ist mein Recht.
Ach, demand, okay.
Aber da gibt es einen Vers auch da heißt es, dass wenn man geboren wird, hat man automatisch so viele Pflichten. Nein, da nicht mehr geboren wird, übernimmt man so viel Schulden. Gegenüber den Eltern, gegenüber der Familientradition, gegenüber den Halbböllern, die uns versorgen mit dem allem, was wir brauchen, gegenüber den Vorfahren, den großen Weisen, Heiligen, Shavyasadev, der uns das Bhagavatam gegeben hat. Dann gegenüber, das heißt ja auch, gegenüber gewöhnlichen Lebewesen. Das heißt Pflanzen, Tieren, Kühen und so weiter. Und wenn wir Nutzen bekommen. Und deshalb, und da gab es mal einen Artikel, da hieß es, dass genau wie wir unsere Miete bezahlen, unser Wasser bezahlen, und Strom bezahlen und so weiter und Steuern zahlen. Und wir haben wir so viel mehr im Grunde Schulden. Und allein dadurch, dass wir geboren werden, in einer bestimmten Familie, haben wir Schulden und verpflichtet gegenüber der Familie und Tradition. Aber dann heißt es abschließend, die Schlussfolgerung des Verses, aber wenn wir uns Mukunda hingeben, Mukunda, Krishna, der uns Mukti gibt, dann werden wir befreit von allen Schulden. Allein durch das wir uns Krishna geben. Krishna befreit uns von allen diesen Pflichten. Das heißt, wenn man sich nicht Krishna ergebt, wenn man kein Devotee ist, ist man heillos verstrickt in allen diesen Dingen. Ob man daran glaubt oder nicht, das hält uns alles fest. Das ist alles wie Blei, das uns versinkt im Wasser. Wie sagt man das? Also tief und tiefer dazu. Werden wir verstrickt in der Natur. Alles verstanden?
Mhm.
Man fühlt sich ganz automatisch, wenn man Devotee ist, und wirklich das Herz eines Devotees hat, ist man automatisch dann so. Die spirituellen Meister, die Devotees, die Krishna, dass er einem diese Möglichkeit gegeben hat, die eigenen Dinge zusammenzukommen. Man wird auch mehr und mehr, wenn man Krishna muss, und dann sieht man das alles in der Beziehung zu Krishna, was man macht, was einem wieder fehlt. Und das alles der Plan Krishnas ist. Perfekter Plan, alles ist in seinem perfekten Platz, passiert zur perfekten Zeitpunkt. In der materiellen Welt haben die gerne, das ist alles Zufall. Das ist alles Zufall. Allein diese hirnverbrannten Theorien, die wir haben, das alles vom Urknall kommt, aber immer so möglich ist. Also wie das in Amerika gegeben hat, für Revolutionen und Bomben, zum Beispiel in Kolumbien eine Klasse gegeben, abends, Bhagavatam-Klasse, und dann explodiert eine Bombe in der Nähe. Die ganzen Fenster sind das ganze Glas rausgefallen. Das ist hier nicht so üblich. Und alles hat Platz, das hat alles seine Wirkung. Das ist eine Bedeutung. Aber das kann man verstehen, wenn man Krishna ist. Oder? Bin ich gleich erfahren?
Krishnas Mercy und aber wieder.
Krishna ist perfekt. Ist der intelligenteste von allen. Alles, was er tut, alles, was er sagt, ist perfekt. Und deshalb stellen wir uns besser auf ihn ein. Allein schon aus praktischen Gründen stellen wir uns besser auf ihn ein und lernen es, was die Idee dahinter ist und wie Krishna es geschaffen hat. Zum Beispiel gestern haben wir über die Erscheinungskraft der Mutter gesprochen. Das ist so vollkommen. Man will so ein bisschen sich damit beschäftigen. Das ist so vollkommen, das ist eine Erscheinungskraft, die Wirkung von der Erscheinungskraft. Das werden die durch ihre Experimente und wenn das nie zu dem Schluss kommt. Durch ihre sogenannte wissenschaftliche Forschung kommen die nie zu dem. Und jeder intelligente Mensch, der die Sachen hört, das kann Wirkung haben. Gerade gehört gestern, dass Prabhupada in Indien war. Und er kam so arrangiert, dass die wichtigsten Leute der Stadt kamen, darstellen. Das ist ein großer Unterschied zu unserer Gesellschaft.
Jai.